Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of the Games Are Fun podcast. My name is Luke Armstrong, and I'm your host. Joining me are the Beagle brothers. First, we have Adam Palooza 85. How's it going, Adam?
It's going great. I'm very, very excited for this episode.
Yes, definitely. We also have the King himself, Lordly King S. Dot. Steven, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. Same. I'm really excited for this episode. It's going to be kind of chaotic for the audio listeners, but just know that we have you in mind while we're doing this. So we're going to be as
Absolutely.
good as we can.
Definitely, yeah. You probably already can are wondering like what are these these sound effects behind our voices and what's going on if you're listening on audio platforms. But if in case you missed it, we decided to do this week's episode in Sea of Thieves. We streamed Sea of Thieves over on twitch.tv/games are fun podcast last Thursday, and we cheated you guys out of an episode last week, so we wanted to make sure that we gave you the attention this week with an episode. But we still wanted to play Sea of Thieves, so we're like, well, maybe we could mash the two together. So we're gonna be talking about a couple different topics. We're gonna be talking about E3. There's a news article today, an update on what E3's digital event could look like. There was some rumors that got debunked about it being behind a paywall, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about Xbox and how they continue to kill the game when it comes to backwards compatibility, bringing a bunch of Xbox and Xbox 360 titles to xCloud, the streaming service for Game Pass subscribers. And yeah, we'll catch you up on what we've been playing. But yeah, there are going to be some moments throughout the episode that you're going to be like, what is going on? And I'm not going to promise you it's going to be great content to listen to. And that's just another reason for you to come over to these Twitch streams. We're streaming all of these episodes over on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/games are fun podcast. And you don't want to miss them because they're a lot of fun to do. Even our regular episodes, it's just us three talking heads, but we include some B-rolls for games we're talking about. We're probably going to continue doing more things like this, doing episodes within games. And so, yeah, that's what it's going to look like. But before we get to all that, just a reminder, The Games Are Fun is a video game podcast that releases every single week. Each week, Adam, Steven, and myself join together to talk about video game news, trending industry topics, and reviews on recent game releases. If you can't catch, or you can also catch the show on YouTube by heading over to our YouTube channel. Just check the show description for that. We would really appreciate it if you headed over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because we do not have a custom YouTube URL yet, and we really want to get that so it can be easier to plug. Yeah, I'm doing this off of the top of my head. I should probably bring up the show doc so I'm not as scrambled.
I think you're killing it so far.
We're killing it so far.
Around pirating.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think I don't. I think I've covered all the usual rigmarole. I've already mentioned Twitch. You can catch the podcast on all your major podcast platforms. Just search for Games Are Fun on whatever podcast platform you use. And I think that's all I got for that. But for one piece of housekeeping news, Level Grinders, our monthly show hosted by Adam and Steven here, that talk about, to kind of take a deep dive into well-known RPG titles, and they kind of pull them apart, talk about the game. And Adam, do you want to share with this a little bit about this month's episode?
Yeah, so much like the other episodes, it's been a another nostalgia trip, a favorite RPG of mine from my childhood that just had its 25th birthday in March, so we figured it was a good time to bring it on to the Level Grinders show and talk about in detail. That game is Super Mario RPG. Really great game. So it was a really great episode. We had a lot of fun with it. We had some footage to go along with it that I took from a Super Mario RPG randomizer. So there's a little video, a little bit of video to go along with our discussion. And yeah, it was just a really solid show. Really enjoyed it. We do have a bit of a challenge of trying to figure out what our next show is going to be. But if you've missed them, our very first episode was about Chrono Trigger, and second episode was Pokemon Gen 1, where we had special guest Nishon on the show. And then our most recent episode as I mentioned, was Super Mario RPG.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, you can expect that. I guess next week probably we'll get that
Yeah,
edited
yeah,
and
we try
up.
and get it. We try and get it out monthly. We didn't record until pretty late into
Mhm.
March, so obviously it didn't release in March. Now, if you go to my Twitch channel, AdamPalooza85, you can see the VOD of the episode there. We do actually have a little bit of a pre-show and a pretty lengthy post-show that we did too. That was a lot of fun. So you can catch some of that on there. But yeah, we'll obviously have it edited for YouTube and audio as well.
Great. All right. Yeah. So make sure you check out that. And yeah, I guess we can take a quick break to just set sail here, guys, and get going on Sea of Thieves. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right. So what do we want to do?
There's a shiny light.
The red screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's head
Head
over
over.
there. Yeah, last stream was a ton of fun. There's a couple big highlights that I wanted to mention. The first being when I don't know if Jay was still with us, but when we came across that, I think he was. When we came across that one single pirate, and it was like 1v4.
I think there was two of them.
Oh, was there?
them.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, there was
2v4.
two. But at
But yeah,
first,
2v4. It was our what is this ship called, a brigantine or something?
yeah,
The
something-
Well, we were
brig.
on the galleon. We were on
Oh,
the galleon.
you're right. You're right. We were on the
Yeah.
galleon at the time because there's four of us against a sloop of two others.
and we got rocked. Like we,
Yeah.
I jumped the gun thinking like, oh, there's a ship. It's a small ship. He's coming in. Let's just fire away. And as soon as we did that, they kind of rammed our ship, and totally killed all four of us. Like,
Yeah, Luke,
Yeah.
Luke was a bit of a loose cannon,
Yep.
if you will, in attacking those pirates. Where we think they were probably just trying to do some sort of story quest, and we interrupted that, and they just murked us.
and then the Red Ruth battle, we like kind of stumbled across that. We saw this like crazy like red tornado coming from one island, and we're like, well, let's head over there and see what's up. And yeah, we came across a boss named Red Ruth, and she was a challenge. That lasted what, like 45 minutes, I think.
It was a
It was a
long
big
fight,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 phases. We rolled up on the island and we're like, all right, so how are we going to handle this? Before we could even set strategy, she just starts hurling fireballs at us.
Right.
Sets
Yeah.
the ship on fire.
It
jump off
almost
boat.
sinks. We barely saved the ship.
Yeah.
Barely saved it.
So I run off boat just to get her attention so she stops attacking the ship. Well, Palooza and you know, Adam and Luke here, they stay on and they save the ship and then join me on the shore to battle. And yeah, it was a good one. There's a lot of really cool mechanics out of it and different phases of the fight as you got her HP knocked down, plus a ton of loot, like 50,000 gold balloons worth of loot at the end of that one. It was
Yeah,
was
and
well
you,
worth that
you
trip.
kited her like a champ too, because me and Luke, we died several times. I don't think
Yep.
you died at all during that whole skirmish.
Nah, yeah, I did a pretty decent job. I do say so myself. Pat myself on the back.
All right, so I think we are just about rolling up on this
Yep.
pillar of light here. There's birds flying around.
Drop the anchor.
Do we know what this is?
No.
Jump in the boat here, or just jump in the water.
Oh, it's a sunken ship.
Ooh, maybe then we should get someone to bring the small Adam. Maybe you can
I
bring
got it.
yeah. So
The wreck of the Blessing of Athena.
yeah, I wonder. Remind me real quick, what kind of like underwater enemies do we have? Do sharks spawn pretty?
There's sharks, yeah.
Quickly?
Potentially a kraken, but not super likely, I would say. At least not until we start sailing.
Right.
The Kraken will show up if you have a lot of the skulls on your ship. It's almost like
Oh, interesting.
almost a sure thing.
I got a Reaper's chest that
I
is
grabbed that.
emitting some sort of red, like smoke or dust or something. So, I'm assuming that's. Oh, there you are, Adam. Is that it? I think
Is that it?
Let me take another
I got
look.
it. I did get a villainous skull.
Okay. This thing has a very eerie glow to it. We might be marked on the map too when we have this, so we might. I mean, I know we're pretty close to an outpost, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Pick up Sapphire Mermaid Gem. Okay,
That'd be some good cash.
got that. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Oh.
Nishan asked any of those parasitic minnows that swim up your. Oh god.
Just don't pee in the water. Don't pee in the water.
Don't pee in the water.
I'm probably gonna suffocate. Actually, I might be able to get to the surface.
I'm gonna take one more look through, see what we got.
Oh my gosh, that was such a large gasp of air. Yeah, there's like some barrels and stuff. I had to carry this up, so I didn't check any more, but
I think any of the major stuff should just be out, sort of lying about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see like skulls or gems or anything like that inside of barrels.
All right, I got one more thing that was there. It's a crate of rare tea, so I'm gonna try and get this up here. Looks like there's a gunpowder barrel down here, but
I'm back down here, so I might be able to grab that.
it's all the way down in the bottom of the
Bottom
ship.
part, okay. Just checking these barrels real quick. And we'll head down there and see.
Swim faster!
Oh my gosh, no, I cannot. There it is. I'm probably gonna die, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting down into the bottom of the hole there.
Yeah. It's tricky. Yeah.
I think we're gonna lose Luke.
Yep.
I'm just up here day drinking on the little boat, the little rowboat.
I'll just revive back in. All right, well, I guess this is a good kind of time to maybe just talk a little bit about the first topic we want to talk about today, which is E3. So we've talked about E3 many times on this show, what we think of its current status, and there was some news today about E3's 2020 digital show. And yeah, there was, I guess, some rumors that it was going to be behind a paywall, and those got debunked. It said that it was going to be free, but I actually wanted to ask you guys, because we kind of talked about this in our group chat a little bit today, on if E3 had like some sort of paywall where you pay X amount of dollars to get into some of this sort of digital event. Like, is that something you guys would even consider?
No, not for me. It's been free for so many years, like obviously because it's been, just always live streamed, and it, and I assume we're talking about like the keynote conferences, right? Like, your Xboxes and your Bethesdas and all that sort of thing. Like, no, I would not pay for those, just because like it's something that there's been a precedent that it's always just been, you can watch the live stream of it and that's it. And so I don't see me starting now, especially in the shape that E3 has been, where it's been in rocky terrain for the past several years, and last year it didn't even exist. And I think it would just be a money grab by them. So I would not.
How about you, Steven?
Well, and I mentioned this in our group chat. So, based off the rumors, I don't think it would have been like keynote stuff that was going to be locked behind the wall. It would have been some sort of exclusive, like, demos or something along those lines that they were going to have underneath of it to make it just a little bit more special. So I think if they would have something like that, I would pay. They were talking something like $35. So like if they were like, all right, $35 get you kind of this all access pass that you'll get demos for any of the games that are announced you know, for some of these games that are going to be announced this week, yada yada, stuff like that. I would, just for the sole fact to get my hands on them sooner than anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if it was going to be something like, well, we're going to have the keynotes stuck behind the paywall, we're going to have, you know, the PC magazine stuck behind a paywall like that, I would. It's touchy because now I'm in the media, right? So it's very touchy for me to be able to see that stuff, to be able to report it to you effectively. Obviously, I would need to get that passed so then I can bring the news to you. So it's one of those kind of juggles where, me personally, no, I wouldn't pay for keynotes, but on a professional sense, I would, just so that I could get the information quicker and get it out. And then, of course, if there was any sort of like, here's a game that comes along with this whenever you're going through and watching it, I would be in on that as well.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pay unless there was like some really good incentives involved, and also like if it wasn't a ton of money, right? Because that would be the thing. If it's minimal cost and it's like there's some cool little incentives involved in it, it's like, sure, why not? It's like it's not that much money to dish out for something like that. But if it was, I don't know, it just like it wouldn't make sense. So I'm glad that nonetheless, you know, the rumors were debunked and it's going to be free, because that makes more sense. And yeah, I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do, because obviously last year E3 was canceled, and they didn't have the time, I guess, to be able to put together a digital event. This year they are putting on a digital event, although we don't know exactly what that digital event is going to look like. We don't have any details officially announced yet, besides the fact that they've confirmed, the ESA has said this is coming. So what do we think, like, what would an E3 digital event look like? Is it going to be kind of like this central presentation that kind of moves it over to different presentations, just kind of like the Twitch streams did, right? When you would tune into the E3 official Twitch channel, they would kind of have like interviews with developers and stuff like that while throwing to the presentation. Are we thinking kind of a similar thing for this digital event?
My hopes on this is we're not going to see much of a change of what we've seen in the past. It's just the fact that it's going to be digital. You know, like, we're going to have somebody standing up on a stage kind of presenting what their company's going to be giving us. I you know, there's a little bit of doubt on what those things could be, just because of a lot of folks are doing their own events, which I get. But a lot of those people that are doing their own events are also on the board for ESA, you know, so like, and they just made a huge investment in making E3 larger. It makes me wonder, like, how are we really looking at this thing kind of dying, you know what I mean? Is it still going to be good? I think it will.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's just, yeah, how good is it really going to be?
Right.
Is the question. And yeah, I think it's going to be just sort of a platform for these keynote conferences and things of that nature. And then we'll see kind of like what we've seen before, you know, where we would have like IGN or whatever. There'd be some sort of like stage presence that was doing interviews and whatnot. I think we'll see some of that. But again, I think they will be competing with IGN and GameSpot and Jeff Keighley and whoever else decides they want to do, you know, their kind of own thing around this time. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. What sort of titles they're able to get to showcase, like what kind of exclusivities they'll be able to get. So I think it all depends on that. I think it'll still be good, but I'm a little skeptical that it's going to be something that people are going to still want year over year.
Right. Yeah, like we've seen E3 kind of have some complications, I guess, is one way to put it. Over the last couple of years, it's we've seen some major companies pull out and kind of do their own thing, right? With even though like Xbox is kind of happening just across the street from the event, like they technically weren't part of E3, right? For the last couple years, they had, I believe, like a some sort of booth there for attendees, but like they weren't on the E3 stage or whatever. They're in the Microsoft Theater. Same with Nintendo, you know, putting direct presentations around the time when E3 is happening. So I think the same thing is going to just happen, right? We're going to have probably a lot smaller of developers and companies coming into E3 because it kind of seems like that the major companies like Sony, Nintendo, Xbox have really solidified themselves in what they're doing with their digital events, right? We saw that last year because of the pandemic. So I think it'll be interesting. I think this is really going to kind of determine what E3's life will look like going forward after this digital event and seeing how successful it is.
I sense your fear.
So real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this other person in town told
Master
us to go.
Kraken Hunter.
Yeah,
Looks dope as hell.
I know, right? So we need to go to the Reaper's hideout to sell the chest.
Ah,
We
okay.
got.
Yeah,
I also see it looks like there is a
Here I
ship on
think
its way.
IDK. It's near the middle of the map.
Yeah, it looks like we got another ship on the way, probably to try and take it from us. Yeah,
Oh, are they coming?
They're coming this way. Yeah, they're coming this way quick.
Okay,
So
well,
we might have to fend them off,
yeah, let's
or
get
just
in there.
try and peace out.
Here you'll mark it for you.
I'm getting. Are you guys getting text to speech from this person?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kinda cool. Which way are they coming from?
The other side of the island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll probably try and head us off.
So we want to get out of here, make some distance,
It's north.
or
What's that?
what do we want to do? Just kind of hang tight.
You guys need
or-
to leave now.
Yeah. We need to leave right
All right,
now.
yeah, it's like straight north.
GT.
There's a ship to tear you.
I appreciate this guy coming in here and like.
I do too. Yeah. So if someone has a way to thank him, we probably should.
T.
Good
T is the
luck.
hotkey for text.
There we go.
Oh. Alright, don't crash into this rock.
No, I got
Need to
it.
head like straight north. Here they come.
Oh yeah, there they come.
Oh, they've got the wind to them too. Get our sails. At least we got some other stuff sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold this. Oh my god.
Well, they're probably gonna go right behind us so that we can't shoot at them.
As long as we keep their broadside away from us, we
Mhm.
should be okay. Oh my gosh.
Is that a galleon too?
Yeah.
Yeah. The wind
So, yeah,
with
that-
us, we should be able to outrun them.
That guy
Yeah,
is
we've-
tailing behind him too. That was helping
Oh,
us.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like it. Might try to help us out, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so at any rate, it'll be interesting to see. We'll definitely be reporting on everything E3 when it does hit, probably in June. We don't. Oh,
Steven, you got to start heading northwest. Once we get around this island here, Snake Island.
Yeah, I think E3, I'm very hopeful for it. I'm glad it's back for one. And you guys know this. Like I'm really pretty hyped for it. And I've been doing a lot of research like where it kind of left off whenever COVID hit, and you know, the reason we didn't get anything from them is because of it. And now we're getting the digital to at least get things started again. And based off what BlizzCon gave us, BlizzCon Online, that digital event, like, gives me a lot of hope for E3. Because that was a really good show. And if they can do anything like that, if E3 can present anything like that, it's gonna be a good time. And I think we're gonna see some cool stuff.
Yeah,
We still need a bit of a westerly heading here.
Okay.
yeah, they're
Yeah, but I know
they're getting
we've
noticed a
we've
little
gone
bit.
to, the thing we've been mentioning before is the fact that it's last year was just an absolute mess when it came to delivering information on updates and reveals of new games. So I think in that regard, it's going to be really, really nice to have E3 back and kind of have that structured sort of experience in terms of doling out that information to the masses. That sort of just one stop shop for everything. I hope that maybe does kind of like get IGN and GameSpot and all those people. I know Jeff Keighley's still going to do his own thing, but
Right.
hopefully there'll be collabs with these media outlets that will kind of prevent that mess, the summer game mess that we had last year.
Yeah, it was kind of like a flood of. Like, it was great to get all these game announcements, but there were so many. It's like I couldn't even remember all of them, and it just got so overwhelming. It's like, well, I'll just. Oh man, they are they are gaining on us hard. We
They're
shooting with the
right up.
cannon now.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
They got us with they locked our anchor. We're toast. We're so toast right now. These are probably PvPers. We're so dead.
Yeah, there's a guy in here. Oh, there
Oh,
goes.
I got him.
You got
He's
him?
down.
Come on.
What the hell is this? There's a bat in here.
Someone can revive me real quick.
Gotcha.
Trying to get the anchor back up. Get us moving again.
I'll be out here. Oh,
It's gonna be locked. It's gonna drop on us because they got us with one of those. Oh god.
oh, this is not.
They're trying to lock up our sails right now.
A couple hits on him. There we
Can
go.
we
Try and get that.
move?
Try and get that anchor back up again.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of hits on him.
Yeah, I got a couple on the mast too. Ooh, nice hit.
All right. Where's this island at?
I know. Get us there.
We are. Oh man, they're at the island now, so I think they're gonna try and just
They
block
definitely,
us from.
yeah, they definitely know what they're doing. Know where we're going.
Unless they got the chest. If they got the chest from us already,
Where-
they're turning in.
where
Do we
was
still
it?
have it?
Oh yeah, we still have it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still good.
We're in trouble. I'm going right side. Our right side's going broadside. Oh god!
Yeah, I'm gonna go down and try and. Oh man, oh man.
Got one of our masts. Oh, both of them. Oh no!
Oh, I need blinks. Do I have blinks?
Well, we gotta pull it up first. Can someone get to the island? Oh, they're back.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay. We're getting attacked right now, audio listeners. Where's the box at? Okay, I see it.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah, I had. Oh, I should have healed.
Coming for that booty, says Nishan. Yep.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I should have stuck with my
Yeah,
gun
they got
instead
me.
of trying to sword fight him. Dang it.
Well, it was an exciting way to start the.
Yeah, I mean, at least now we know next time
Yeah,
to just
what that
beeline
means,
because
yeah.
yeah, if we would have known that, we would have been totally fine.
Well, yeah,
We
because
would
we
have
would
been
have went straight there instead of going
yeah,
back to an outpost. So
yeah. We spent too much time at that outpost.
yeah, but good thing we ran into that guy to tell us what the deal is with those chests. So.
You're right.
Okay, well, another thing, I don't know, is there anything else you guys want to talk about E3? I think we can probably move on to talking a little bit about some of the Xbox compatibility topic. This is more of just kind of like a general topic.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're still
here.
Yeah, so let's pause that, audio listeners. Because we are
they left the chest on the deck. They could have just taken it. I think they're just screwing with us now. They're just creeping.
Well, they probably would have like maybe left us alone. Maybe if we would have gave them the chest. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm going over the boat right now.
Yeah, I died again.
I think they were still shooting us with cannonballs and stuff like that, so there might be still somebody over here. Let's see what kind of damage I can.
They didn't do enough damage to the boat to make it sink.
All right.
Ah! Yeah, their PvPers are really good. Good for them.
Good for them.
Oh, they killed our boat.
Yeah.
All
There we
right,
are.
fresh.
Fresh start. We all saw that coming, though.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything we're not good at this game yet.
Combat. Sea battles.
So
And at least I still have all the stuff that I was carrying on me. So
yeah, that's actually a
something.
really nice about this game is it's pretty good that it gives you your loot still, or it lets you keep your loot. So yesterday, Xbox announced that they were going to basically bring a bunch of Xbox 360 original Xbox games over to I guess you would be able to stream them if you're a Game Pass subscriber, because of course with Xbox Game Pass you can stream to your phone, has that capability, and not every game is on Game Pass I think has the capability of being streamed, but what's really cool is the fact that you can now play 360 games and Xbox games on Game Pass through streaming. That's pretty incredible. You can play Banjo-Kazooie on the go. So what I kind of wanted to ask you guys is, there's this article that Adam found from Kotaku. Let me just credit who wrote it here. So it's from Zach Zweisen, and he basically did an article talking about Microsoft is supporting old games while Sony and Nintendo are leaving them behind. So yeah, this is something that we've talked about obviously before. Xbox kills it when it comes to playing old Xbox games on your Xbox platforms, right? If they have backwards compatibility for a bunch of 360 games, a decent collection of original Xbox games, and then you have PlayStation over here who, you know, you had the PS2 that was able to play PS1 games. I think the first generation of PS3s, like the very first run, some of them could play PS1, PS2 games.
Yep.
But then the later ones you couldn't. Of course, PS4 couldn't play any of those. PS5 you can play some PS4 games, but that's about it. So Nintendo has a bit of a different way to making you play their old games, and that's by shelling out $20 a year for Nintendo Online. So you get the NES Online system as well as the SNES, and they have like a small library of games on, well, not small, but a decent library of games on those that you can play. Other than that, there's no way to have like if you own these games previously, playing them on the console. So what do we guys like? First of all, do we have any thoughts we want to share about Xbox kind of continuing to just kill it when it comes to backwards compatibility?
Yeah, it's another pro customer move, which Xbox has just been doing a fantastic job of lately. And I know like this, we kind of talked about this in Discord. It's not a direct response to Sony deciding to shut down their stores for old consoles. Like they just announced they'll be closing stores for PS3, PSP, and PS Vita. But and then it's like just what, a day or two after that news came out, Xbox says, "Hey, not only can you play these games from the 360, but you can play them on your mobile devices. You can play them on the go. You know, you have just an incredible library of games at your fingertips that you can play at home or anywhere." And it's just, I don't know, it's just really great consumer first moves like that from Xbox that is really changing the conversation for them. Everyone's like, "Oh, Xbox is dead. Sony's got them beat." But Sony has this just bizarre mentality of like, nobody wants to play these old games and it's not worth it to keep these stores open, and let's look forward and not back. And it's like, well, you have all these people that are very heavy, like, you know, you have the preservationists, right, that want to see games being able to be played just for the preservation of it. And then you have people that want to go back to these games from time to time because they're their favorite games, you know, potentially of all time, that they want to go back and revisit that they just can't. And so like there is a concern that games are just gonna vanish. They're gonna die out. We're not gonna be able to play these games anymore. And thankfully Xbox is willing to do what they can to keep that from happening with a lot of really great titles.
Right.
Meanwhile, Nintendo, they you know, they, like you mentioned, there's the Nintendo Switch Online, which is fine. I actually don't hate that. I don't mind paying the, you know, the yearly subscription to it because it does get you, you know, online play. It gets you, you know, the occasional extra game like Tetris 99 or Super Mario 35. So there are some other benefits that you get with it. So I don't hate it. I just wish there was a better lineup of games coming out for it, because the last couple times they've added games to the Super Nintendo and Nintendo for that service, like, nobody knows what they are. Nobody recognizes them. Nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a whole library of other games that people would love to see that just aren't showing up. So it's yeah, really weird decision making by Nintendo and especially Sony right now to do what they're doing. And there's no doubt in my mind that the PS5 would be able to do, you know, backwards compatibility, whether it be through online means or, you know, if they were to have like a hardware solution for it. But yeah, they just don't want to do it because they don't think there's a market for it.
Right.
And I think they're wrong about that.
How about you, Steven? You're kind of like just fresh into this Xbox ecosystem. You just picked up your Xbox Series X. How
He's quickly becoming the Xbox guy.
Yeah, he's coming the Xbox guy. Of course, Garrett is kind of our Xbox guy. But now we have another person invested in the Xbox ecosystem with that console. First off, how has the console been?
So the Series X has been absolutely fantastic. The SSD alone for console gaming is a must need now.
Yeah,
like after having PC for so long, you getting the SSD in there with the Series X, like I'm just it's just such a pleasant experience doing everything. And Game Pass is something that I've had for a bit because I've used it for PC.
Yeah.
But now getting it on console and having access to everything that they have on there, including some of the PC ones that I was able to play, it's so good for that feet up, relaxing, sit and play a game in the evening after I get done with the stream or whatever, you know. So it's really nice for that. Graphics are phenomenal as we should expect them to be, you know, that sort of thing. So solid console all around. And now you add in the fact that I go into the Xbox store and the Xbox library, and I'm looking back on all of the fantastic Xbox 360 games that I played whenever I was definitely an Xbox kid.
Right.
So, you know, stuff like and perfect example of this is I go in and I'm like breezing through my achievements back from my 360 days, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember this game, and I can immediately go into the store and pick that game up now.
Yep.
Like there's none of this like, oh gosh, man, I really wish Nintendo would give me Chrono Trigger. I really wish Super Mario. No, like I can go onto Xbox Store and get any game that I've ever played from them before. And it's that kind of thing, because not only is it that, but like I'm gonna buy their new games too. I just happen to have their old games to be able to fill my time whenever I'm not getting their new ones, you know? So it's like it's keeping me on their service, it's keeping me on their system much more than anything else at this point. My PlayStation is dead. Like I use it for Netflix sometimes, or not even Netflix. I use it for Amazon or Paramount or something like that. Like it's basically a media console now, a Fire Stick at the, you know, if you even want to call it that. So it's like, what are they doing, you know? And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, is just looking at Nintendo, looking at PlayStation, and they're shutting things down, taking them off the markets, taking out Mario because of Mario 35 being over. You know, like you're taking things away from us, but Xbox is like, here's all this stuff that you grew up and loved on our old consoles, bringing in that nostalgia factor, plus giving us a bunch of new titles that are going to be coming along as well. It's an easy in for me to stay on Xbox for a very long time. It's Saints Row, which was one of my all-time favorite games. Guilty pleasure game for sure these days, in the social context of things. But like, it is. I went and saw the achievements, and I was like, wow, I still have achievements to do. And then I get into the store, and there's Saints Row 1 for me to be able to download and start playing. And sure enough, I'm ripping into that game right now, in between Outriders and No Man's Sky. So it's not like I'm stopping any of the new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just able to get into the old things.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I hear some people try to make the argument of like, well, Xbox just has a bunch of like old games. Who wants that? And it's like, well, a lot of people do, right? Like, especially if there's a lot of people that were invested in the Xbox ecosystem in the 360 days, and you can just like go on there and like, yeah, it's incredible to be able to play like these old games that you've kind of forgot about, or just the simplicity too of just having most of them, obviously the first parties, but they have like a decent third party for these older games as well, when it comes to original Xbox games as well as 360 games. So it's just, they continue to just dominate with that service. And so the fact that you're bringing more games in to be able to play anywhere with that streaming service, that's pretty phenomenal. I didn't mention the games that were added. So Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Double Dragon Neon, Fable 2, Fallout New Vegas, Gears of War 2, 3, and Judgment, Jetpack Refueled, Cameo, Perfect Dark Zero, Morrowind, Oblivion, Viva Pinata, and Viva Pinata TIP. What is that? Trouble in Paradise. So like old games that you can, like, when you remember, especially when you're talking Banjo-Kazooie, right? Like a Nintendo 64 game that like you just are a Game Pass subscriber, pull out your phone, connect a Bluetooth controller, and you're just ready to play right then and there. So the fact that they've done this, it means that they're going to continue to add more titles into it as time progresses too. So yeah, I really hope that, I don't know, it's tough because we've talked about Nintendo, we've talked about PlayStation, and I don't know, I just don't really have that confidence that, at least on the PlayStation side, that they're going to, I don't know, because I feel like I've said before that Xbox almost is like forcing them into a position to start doing these things to, if they want to be in competition, and they haven't, right? They haven't really turned that PlayStation Now service into something that can compete with Game Pass. And so I just hope that Xbox kind of leading this charge of backwards compatibility as we move forward with the other platforms, that we can hopefully get some support for that, because, you know, there's lots of games, like especially on the PS3, PS2 side, like I would love to go back and play, and that would totally, if they were included in, and I know that there are some PS2 games, so like before anyone just, you know, roast me for that, like I know that PS Now has some of that, but it's not as robust as Game Pass. There's no denying that, right? So Xbox doing great things for sure.
Nichon in chat asks, how does Xbox have the best value promotion in gaming, yet is still seen as being behind Sony and Nintendo? You know, I think it comes down to them being kind of the late comer to the game. You know what I mean? So like PlayStation and Nintendo were very well established consoles before Xbox had even shown up, and even with the 360, which I think was pretty much the height of Xbox, they still were getting this kind of like cold shoulder from media just because they weren't Nintendo, they weren't PlayStation. They were just this young up and coming, you know, showboating American company producing a video game console.
Right.
And right now what we have is Xbox kind of with the Xbox One. Even myself, like that series of Xbox, I did not get myself into. I was very happy with my PlayStation 4 experience. I felt there was no need for me to get an Xbox because there really wasn't a, it wasn't a robust library that they had, other than Halo 5, which wasn't reviewing well, and that's one of the main titles. We haven't had a new Fable in years. So like basically since the 360 was the viable source. So like another title of mine that you know just didn't see anything from it. So like their main titles weren't there, and I think it kind of fell off to the wayside because of that. But now we have this Series X, and they're bringing in some really good stuff. They're bringing Fable back, they're bringing Halo back in. Like we're gonna have a library again from them. And I think it's hopefully something that will change, but I almost feel like it won't, even though they have this huge amount of value through their services, like being able to get us hooked up with pretty much every game that's ever been on their library. I don't know if it's difficult to do. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Like, is it something that's tough to do to kind of bring old stuff back to play on current consoles?
I mean, the way Xbox does it is they use emulation, right? So basically, they're just running an emulator on your console and running the games through that. And I know that I don't know how Nintendo Online does it, if it's a similar process.
Yeah,
but
emulation.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm really not sure. I couldn't speak on the technical side of it if it is really challenging or not, but I think it's definitely easy for like us to say, oh, we say the same thing about, oh, just port it to Switch, right? Like we want everything on Switch so we have the capability of playing these games on the go, right? But it's harder than that, right? There's probably a lot of technical restrictions, especially when you're going to the Switch, a console that is kind of, you know, a little inferior to the other ones. So yeah, so for audio listeners here, we've come across a boss here, so we're gonna pause on the conversation and move it over to Sea of Thieves. But yeah, to end off this, I'm happy to see that Xbox continues to do these things that are really pro-consumer, and yeah, I can't wait to see all the future things now that they have all these new studios and they're into this new generation and they can get some new first-party AAA titles onto the platform. It's going to be really exciting. All right, so we got Red Ruth again, hey?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring this skull back to the ship.
Do we have an ammo crate anywhere?
There was
It's
one
over by me.
Okay.
All right, back to the action.
Oh gosh.
Call me when the real pirates arrive.
Just kind of give me a run for my money this time around.
I'm actually doing a lot better this time than I was last time.
Oh, she down? Yeah. She's down.
Shit. Get her!
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh,
Run!
AoE.
She's gonna do her blast.
Run!
Yeah, this phase will start the big AoE blast, I think.
Right.
I can't see. Oh, she just keeps hurling stuff. I gotta get back to that ammo crate.
Where is the ammo crate?
It's if we go through this little choke point here, it's on the left. But it's full of skeletons right now.
Okay.
I think the other thing too that Xbox did smart was change their online service, taking out that live.
Yeah. Yeah, what's it called now? Just like Xbox
Network, I think is what they're.
Yeah.
The one thing, and this is within the Final Fantasy XIV community, this is kind of a big deal because one of the things that came up during the initial conversation of bringing 14 to Xbox was because of Xbox Live. Basically, somebody who was subscribing to somebody subscribing to Final Fantasy XIV would also need to subscribe to Xbox Live to be able to play the game, and that's a lot of subscriptions.
Yeah.
So now with the removal of Xbox Live, it opens it up where somebody who's going to want to play this game won't have to subscribe to that service anymore.
Right.
Sort of like Fortnite, you know, Fortnite's free to play, but if you want to do it on Xbox, you've got to pay Live to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of thing. So there's a lot of hope within the community that it's finally going to make its way to Xbox consoles, which would be pretty awesome for that gang that's looking for that to happen.
Yeah, I saw them advertise the games with gold for April, and it's like at this point,
It's not good.
it's not good. Yeah, and it hasn't been like for a while now, ever since they've really leaned into Game Pass, which is
Right.
fine because it's like that's
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
service they're trying to sell. But, you know, it does not compare to the PlayStation Plus monthly games that come out. It seems like they're really. Oh, crap.
This guy with his blunderbuss. I'm dead. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Oh, I keep forgetting I have throwables too.
Yeah, hit her with some grenades. Nah, like my impressions on the Xbox now that I've gotten it, like if it wasn't for Horizon and I think Returnal's PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those handful of exclusives that are coming to PlayStation, I wouldn't even be considering a PS5 right now.
Right.
Like that's how good the Xbox has been for me so far. Which would have taken me back to that Xbox 360 versus, ouch, gosh, man, that AoE.
I know it hurts so bad.
That Xbox 360 versus PS3 era where I had no need for a PS3 right away. No need for it.
Yeah.
I was 360 all the way. I was such a Microsoft fanboy.
Same.
It's almost reminiscent of that.
I mean, it didn't help that the PlayStation was like $600 when it came out. Too.
Yeah.
That was sort of a big factor for me.
Interesting tactic.
Whoa!
Oh, she's good. Oh, summon skeletons. We're good. Hey, Mr. Egu has found his way into chat. Good seeing you,
Yo,
friend.
Egu. The homie.
Just took down a pile of those ads. And more.
We're definitely progressing quicker with her this time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job this time around. I think having that practice run that we did the other day.
Definitely.
Yeah. Ah, she's looking at me.
It's right here, Ray. Oh no 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 no!
That's
Look
a big one.
out.
Yep. I'm gonna die.
Oh, that still hit me! Oh my gosh, I was so far away.
Oh my
Luke
gosh.
went flying.
Skin of my
All I
teeth.
saw was cats on tacos go flying. How's treasure hunting going? Well, we got PvP'd to death the one time. Again.
But at least this time it was by like, you know, we didn't outnumber them like by double. This was just them. They had a bigger ship. They had better players.
Yeah.
It actually made sense that we lost this time.
Yeah.
More summons. I like getting them while they're still floating.
Yeah,
You
when they're
can't-
floating up, yeah.
Oh god. Whoa, fire breath. I don't remember that.
Yeah, me neither. But apparently it's a thing.
Oh no 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 no! Run away, dude! That hits from so far away.
It is a huge
Yeah, its
fight.
range is unreal.
Oh, she's down.
Get her. Of course, now we're gonna have to worry about once she's down. We're gonna have to worry about that boat, that group of people coming back for us.
Oh yeah, good call. Because we'll have all this loot.
Yeah.
I really hope we can make it back.
There's an outpost right next to us. We should be.
Okay.
Yeah. We should be able to get it and go. I tell you, the lo-fi video game music that I have playing in the background right now does not fit this fight at all.
Yeah, a little too
Oh! The volcano rain. Yep, she's getting close.
chill. Yeah.
Ow, stop hitting me. Oh man, that's devastating. Dread Pirate Roberts ain't got nothing on Red Ruth.
Look out behind you!
Oh, come on.
Oh man,
We're gonna die.
I'm gonna try and. I think she's looking at me.
She's summoning.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys
try and
me,
be-
don't worry about it.
Oh, she's looking at me.
Shredded some skeletons. Whoa! Is this a knockback? No? Skeletons? Oh, it's a knockback.
Oh, yeah, that
Ouch.
is a knockback.
Holy
That hurt.
buckets. I need to find some food.
Whoa!
What an attack.
Oh. Oh, crap. See if I can take cover under this archway here. So far, it seems to be working. She's doing her fire breath
I'm dead.
thing, though.
I died.
Come back now.
When you're on the boat, take a look at the map and see where that other ship is. You should be able to see them. They'll be like a shady or like foggy looking ship.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, the under the archway is safe, by the way.
For the volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, she's under it right now, so that doesn't help.
Ship, you said?
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
They'll have like a what looks like a red hourglass over it too. They might be on the other side of the map, which is good for us. Or maybe they logged out.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, actually.
Oh!
Oops.
Oh my god, I'm so close to dead. Wow.
Oh yeah, they're like. Oh, no, I don't think that's them. I think there's. Or is that them? I'm not sure if you guys can look.
Oh
at it.
no.
What?
Nah, there's a skeleton ship that's near us, but nothing. I don't see any real people.
Okay, good. We might not want to dilly-dally on this island for too long, though. Holy shit!
I'm coming.
That heckin' hurt.
The cavalry
Hopefully
is
I
on
had
the way.
some coconuts. Wow, what am I getting hit by?
Oh,
Stupid gun skeletons.
Skeletons.
She's close.
She is, she is.
Super close. Oh, I should have grabbed
Oh,
some
look out.
throwables.
Volcano.
Arch.
Damn. That took me out quick.
Yep, nice and cozy down here.
I'm coming over to you then.
Skelegons.
Root.
Yeah, skelegons, they suck.
Oh no! Don't die!
I'm gone.
Oh, what? What? Dumb.
Whoa! Run!
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Pineapple, save me. I can't see. Everything's red. Ouch. Dang
Heck.
it. Man, she just sniped the both of us.
You get in the water.
Do I need to bring another ammo crate over there for us? Would that be helpful?
The one's infinite over here, so
Oh,
we
it's
should be good
infinite?
with
Yeah.
that.
The one I was pulling from wasn't.
There's one on the beach that's limited, but there is an infinite one here too.
Got some throwables too.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's so bad.
Oh, she's here.
Okay, I'm out of healing. Unless I can get into those barrels.
Oh gosh.
Is that the AoE? Oh, she's doing fire breath. Oh, what?
What the heck was that?
geyser?
Oh.
Oh god. Give me food.
Oh,
give me food. Give
dang.
me food.
The nice thing is, I think she blows up. Ouch. Dang it. She blows up her own skeletons with this attack.
Oh, good.
It's so dark.
That sounds bad. That sounds bad.
I can't see anything.
Me neither. Oh, dang.
Oh man, it's dark.
Yeah, I still don't know where I'm at right now. Okay, here we go.
Oh no.
Did we get her?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got her.
Nicely done. Oh my gosh.
Suck it, Ruth.
That's another victory.
Da, 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 da.
I'm gonna bring the ship closer. So we can load up.
I don't know that I'd worry about it. Well, all right.
Just like to save time, so then we can just have it
Yeah.
right in there, load it
Yeah,
up.
let's gonna.
Okay, guys. Well, while we're kind of loading these up, I think we should end off. We can keep. We're gonna keep streaming, I think. But we could probably end up for audio listeners. So maybe let's talk a little bit about what we've been playing recently, because it's been a minute since we've caught you guys up on what we've been playing. So I'm gonna turn it over to you first, Steven, because I think you have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, so first thing I've been getting into, big surprise, No Man's Sky. One, it was on Xbox Game Pass, so I had to start a brand new playthrough on my Xbox. So that'll be playthrough number 3 that I started. Voted on by the Games Are Fun community to be a survival playthrough, which has been very interesting because the cool thing about the survival mode is it kind of takes you back. And a lot of people are like, oh, the early years of No Man's Sky was so terrible. Well, survival mode takes you kind of back to those early years, especially whenever it comes to inventory space, how many elements you need to do certain things, like what your resource pool needs to be able to do certain upgrades and things along those lines. It kind of takes it back to those beginning days, which I had a lot of fun with. So got that going, and then right after I start that up, you know, usually Sean Murray, the cheeky guy, will do just an emote.
Oh my gosh, we got a
Twitter
boat
up.
coming. Sorry to interrupt. There is a ghost boat kind of close to me as I'm turning around, but we should be okay.
We should be okay.
Okay, sorry, Steven, continue.
Yeah, we should. As soon as you get close to the island, I think they'll leave you alone. Maybe, I think.
Probably.
So yeah, so No Man's Sky, Sean Murray tweets out just a single emote of a compass, and whenever he does things like this, and he posts a single emote, history tells us that an update is coming. So of course, speculation was all high and ready, and we were, as a community, trying to figure out what's the next step going to be, and they drop Expeditions on us. And Expeditions is basically a
Look out!
Oh!
What happened?
There's a powder keg skeleton
Oh.
right where all our loot is.
Yep.
Oh!
I'm coming. So we had Expeditions drop, which again is another one of the free updates that you can get whenever you play No Man's Sky. And basically, it's a multiplayer update. So they really did a number on multiplayer where they added this new game mode called Expeditions, obviously based off the update. And what it does is it drops you on a planet with a whole bunch of other players. And you basically run through the beginning of the game, kind of in a new game plus sense, because you have a couple extra things that's going to be like a larger inventory to start, a better ship to start. It's a normal type of playthrough, so you have the extended inventories, so you can carry a bunch of stuff. You have also like higher level tech right off the bat as well. So like I have, what they call alpha class, mining laser upgrades, things along those lines. So it's kind of like this, let's get you all pushed out into the universe and see where you end up going. And it's kind of based off of a season sort of thing. So whenever you start this, you'll have tasks to take care of along with your community members, and you earn prizes as you complete the task. So, and those prizes are going to be even more things to kind of make your life out in space even easier. And then once the expedition is complete, that file that you've been playing on converts over to a just standard normal playthrough with all of this extra stuff that you're able to pick up. So it's a really nice way to just kind of get a good push into the game without really kind of having to slog through the tutorial section and things like that. It does help if you know kind of what you're doing right off the bat, because you don't get the prompts to say, hey, go and do this certain thing. So it may be a little difficult in that sense, just to kind of get your bearings early on. And that's where the tutorial can help if you just play a standard normal one. But that's Expeditions. There's some other things that were added into it. Some cross-save compatibility things and things along those lines. They also updated the Nexus with some different missions. They added those into the multiplayer hub, and just kind of gave us a really nice multiplayer experience now. And then along with that, we had Outriders drop late
Right.
last night or
Yeah.
early this morning, depending on where your time zone is. And I played the demo of the game. So I basically what I did is I'm now oh gosh, that's a
Yeah.
skeleton. Run away, Luke. Run away. Don't get close.
I was trying to shoot him, but
Oh, I'm out of ammo.
ammo.
I was gonna shoot him for you. Yeah, if you blunderbuss that thing, you're definitely gonna die.
Yeah.
At that distance. But yeah, Outriders is a I call it divisiony. It's not so much like a lot of people want to try and compare it to like a Destiny, but it doesn't feel like a Destiny to me. It feels more like a Division more than anything. So it's very strategic battles. It has that sense like I've seen Gears happen before in front of me, but I've never actually played it. You can get some sense of Gears of War involved there, especially since some of that dev team is on that one. So right now I'm playing as a Technomancer. I'm about two missions beyond the demo where it leaves off story-wise is about where I'm at. And so far, experience-wise in this game, I'm very pleased with it. I was telling Adam before we started the show that I'm kind of anxious to see where it leads me for endgame, because typically, like these games as service, I sort of drop off after a little bit, and I'm kind of anxious to see if like this would be something I can say story-wise so far and everything that I played so far. If I would probably
What the
pay
hell's
money.
going on out there?
Sorry,
Am I getting attacked?
I shot a barrel and it rocked the boat a bit.
And then, of course, Final Fantasy 14 was streaming. Had my first giveaway stream today, which was
how'd that go?
surprising. It was a lot of fun. The community last week really just like dumped a whole bunch of generosity on me, and I was like, you know what? Let's throw some stuff back at you. So
Nice.
I got a few things from the Final Fantasy 14 store and gave back to them, and we played marbles on stream. But in Final Fantasy 14, we just wrapped up the what they call E7S, which is one of the Savage fights. We just wrapped that one up today after 3 days of messing around with it. It was one of our longer ones, but that was a ton of fun, and that's what I've been up to. So I'll stop blabbing on about all these awesome games I'm playing. What are you guys up to?
Well, yeah. How about you, Adam? Because you've also been playing some No Man's Sky. So how's that experience been going for you?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, every time I play, I do that. What am I doing with my life? Like, why am I doing this to myself playing this game? But it actually has been pretty fun. I just started a normal playthrough. I haven't done like the survival thing like Steven's doing, and I didn't do the expedition thing yet either because I really need to get reacquainted with the game because it's so much different now than what it used to be, and so I need to like basically like it has a pretty lengthy tutorial to it, maybe a little bit longer than I would like it to be. It's kind of droning on a little bit. I just kind of want to go and explore the galaxy at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been pretty fun. I don't know like how much time I'll be spending with it, but I am enjoying the time that I'm playing with it now. I do want to give Outriders a try. I think what I'm going to do, and Luke, I know we were kind of lamenting the situation that we're in, where we both have Xbox One X's and we both have gaming PCs. And what we really want to do is play Outriders on PC.
Yeah.
However, Outriders being on Game Pass is only Game Pass for console. So we are out of luck in that department as far as being able to play on our PCs. So I think this weekend I'm going to try it on the One X, see how it goes. I think the one thing that Steven touched on was the solid state drive, the SSD. And I know with my PC, like it makes a big difference. And I feel like if anything's going to kill that game for me on console, it's going to be loading times.
Right.
So I'm kind of worried about that. I mean, knowing that it's on Game Pass, like I don't want to spend the $60 for the game. So I'm just gonna try it on console. Hopefully it works well, and then this way I can get in. I can play with others on there, play with Steven or whoever else. So yeah, I'm gonna try it out, see how it goes. But yeah, so I am playing No Man's Sky. Talked about that a little bit, and I'm just total noob at it. But it's been fun. It's been a good time. I don't think I've really been playing too much else. Come to think of it, so yeah, unless I'm forgetting something, which is entirely possible.
Oh,
Oh god, we just ran up on shore. I thought someone dropped the anchor. So it's
I was working on it.
yeah.
Let's get this rage chest out of here.
Let me-
So no, other than that, just like the usual playing retro games and stuff. I do want to I know I say this a lot, but I do want to try and get some sort of speed run in. GDQ opened up some missions for games, so I want to try and find something that I can. I mean, I'd have to learn it pretty quick, so I'm not actually expecting that I'll have anything ready in time by the time submissions end, which I think is April 11th. So I probably won't have anything ready. However, there are a couple games that I am somewhat familiar with that I might be able to, you know, slap something together, maybe get a decent time on. So we'll give that a try. But yeah,
That's
I
fine.
I kind of want to get something. We'll see.
I think you should definitely go for it because it's worth the shot for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, yeah, I guess I'll talk now. I'm also kind of I wanted to touch on the Outriders real quick. Is I'm sold from what Steven, you've told me and everything like that. And I love Division, but the problem when Division came out is I had no friends really to play with, and none of my
Yep.
friends were really interested in playing it at the time. I ended up picking up Division 3, I think last year maybe for like $3 or something, like really cheap. And again, it
Division
was
2,
like,
you mean?
or sorry, yeah, Division 2, and I was like, man, this game is even like I like this game even more than the first one. Like it's so much fun, but same problem, no one to play it with. Plus, I was like a year after launch, so this Outriders game having that similar feel to a Division, I could totally see myself, enjoying it. I also enjoy, third person cover based shooters, kind of that Gears of War style of gameplay. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm holding out that maybe it will come to PC at some point because there have been times on Game Pass previously where it has been a case of it's coming to consoles first and then maybe a month later it gets on PC. That was the case with I don't know. There was a game recently. It's slipping my mind, but that I'm hoping that maybe I can because yeah, I don't know that Xbox One X. It's just like, and
It's good.
it's
It's
good,
just
but yeah, like you said, that solid state drive, like that's a huge thing now that we've really
Yeah.
gotten used to. And I not to sound like an elitist,
Oh yeah,
but
for
like
sure.
the frame rates and everything like that with the
Yeah.
PC, it's just you can't match that with with the Xbox One X. So yeah, I'm just hoping it comes so I can check it out at some point. But if you guys are really liking it, then maybe I'll just go for it and bite the bullet and play it on the One X. But
Yeah, I'll do a test run for you this
yeah,
weekend and let you know how it performs on the One X. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like for those that's the console you have. Like I'm sure it's gonna be great.
yeah,
It's just being used to the PC now and having the SSD, having the the graphics card capable of handling not only high def, high fidelity, but also high frame rates is really nice. And to to have to make a choice there kind of stinks.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, I kind of don't really have the choice now, so I just kind of have to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that the hope is that when or if it does come uh to PC, that I'll be able to transfer whatever I have to the PC version.
Yeah,
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 we'll say this. So because a lot of folks, I mean, let's face it, getting your hands on it, I got really lucky. I got really lucky getting my hands on a next gen console. Not everybody's going to have their hands on them. So in light of that, with you guys being on the one, and that's where you'd be playing it, like I still will urge you to give the game a try. I know we've kind of been spoiled with our SSDs and our 4K graphics and high frame rates and stuff like that. I would still urge you to give it a try because even without those things, it's a solid game. Like it's a really like just gameplay wise, story wise, it's something that I think all of us would enjoy really playing just
Mhm.
because of the type of style it is and our history with them. And being able to get it for free is just going to make it just a little bit sweeter because of having Game Pass. You know, like I'd be interested to see also how like our multiplayer experience would go with me being on the Series X and
right.
y'all being on the one. I still urge it, and I urge it to the listeners as well. If you've got Game Pass, give it a try. And yes, I would spend money on this game. You know, in the context of me having already played it.
Mhm.
That's basically how it goes. Um, I think I was a little jaded off of Anthem for these type of games,
Right.
and I was originally really on the fence about it. And then, of course, you know, Game Pass was just a no brainer. I've got to give it a try, and I'm really glad I did. Really glad I did.
Nice.
So
Um,
yes, Ego, it was me. I was driving the boat. However, I'm not taking the blame for what happened there. They were supposed to drop the anchor. I
I
was trying
I
to.
saw Steven like on the anchor and it was like he was like raising it or something. I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here. And then we just crashed. I'm like, it's too late to even bother at this point.
I'm actually. I would toot my horn a little bit here. I would say I'm actually pretty good at driving the boat. It just seems that when we do these streams and I'm driving, um, there's just been instances where we run into the shore. That's all. And again, I'm trusting you guys to do the anchors and the sails and everything. And it seems like it's just me. I got to do all of it because you guys are farting around doing whatever you're doing, talking about games and
Yeah,
stuff.
God forbid. So, for myself and what I've been playing, I I've actually picked up Stardew Valley again.
Oh,
I've
nice.
continued my farm that I started on the Switch a while back, and it's been a bit. I have to confess that I've never completed a full year of Stardew Valley. I've only gotten into summer because most of the time I've just watched
Mm.
Meg play it because she's the expert when it comes to Stardew, and um, yeah. So I just like we started that co-op farm last month and we've been playing it a little bit here and there. And I know Steven, you've talked about it on and off because you that's kind of one of your go-to casual games. And yeah, I'm just like, let's get back to it. Let's get that farm going. So I'm like really happy with the progress I made on my farm. I'm only in fall year one, but I'm just trying to get my farm sorted how I want it, and then I'm gonna like kind of explore the other kind of more optional things you can do in Stardew when it comes to like relationships and stuff. So just kind of grinding away, just getting as many crops as I can get, and yeah, that's been a whole lot of fun. And then of course, I was talked about it, I think, last week when we were playing Sea of Thieves, but I've been playing this game called Everhood, which is kind of like a Undertale type of game, very similar art style, like very similar art style to Undertale, but the combat system is actually a rhythm game. It's kind of like reverse Guitar Hero, so you have these kind of four lanes of these like notes, I guess, coming at you, and you have to avoid them by either moving out of the way or jumping. And some of these enemies, like these battles, can be really intense. Like just things are flying at you real quick, and yeah, it's been really fun. It has a really cool art style. Like I said, if you like that Undertale art style, you're definitely going to um, be down for this game because it's you just look up screenshots and know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I definitely recommend it to people to check out because it's only like $8-10 on Steam. I have been playing it on PC, and the only other platform it's available on right now is the Nintendo Switch. But what I have seen, I think Imran from, I guess he was in Kind of Funny. He's from Fanbyte, games journalist. He posted a video on Twitter showing the load times for Nintendo Switch on this game, and it is like brutal. So if you have a PC, I would recommend trying to play it on there. And it's not like it's this really crazy game that needs like a huge GPU or anything like that. So most people could probably get away with playing it on whatever kind of PC you have if you just have like a laptop or whatnot. So yeah, it's really fun. I haven't quite completed it yet. So yeah, it has very trippy visuals to it. Definitely somebody was doing drugs when they made that game for sure. And I'm all for it because it's oozes with style. So yeah, Everhood, check it out. And then lastly, Resident Evil 4, continuing my first playthrough on that game. Agu's been dropping in my stream there. Pixie from your streams there, Steven, has been helping me with telling me what to do and guiding me through that, almost like a walkthrough in the Twitch chat. So I've really appreciate everyone coming out to those streams because it's kind of been like I've been playing it for the first time, experiencing it, but I've been able to kind of lean on chat to help me with some of those hints where they're like, hey, if you turn around, there's a jewel up in that tree that you can shoot down. So like just little missable things like that. It's been really cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks fun. Like you've kind of sold me on that game. Like I do want to give it a try. When that happens, I don't know, but it looks interesting. I like I like that sort of premise behind it that like you said, that sort of reverse Guitar Hero
Oh, with
theme to
Everhood,
it
yeah,
seems.
yeah. It's yeah, you would definitely like Adam, like kind of knowing. I don't know if you'll like love it. It might just be one of those games that you play and maybe it fizzles out or whatever, but it's definitely worth just kind of experiencing, I think. So,
Yeah, that was Everhood, not Resident Evil.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
jumping back to what
Yeah,
you were
no,
talking
I got you.
about.
Yeah.
Obviously you knew, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to finish Resident Evil 4. I'm like really close to the end. If you guys want to check out my Resident Evil playthroughs, twitch.tv/Luke the Llama. I encourage you to check it out if you are a fan of Resident Evil 4, because I am actually running a FOV mod, which totally, in my opinion, makes that game great because it pulls back that camera and makes it a lot more enjoyable for me because that was a kind of a pet peeve that I had when I first played it. And I know that like I played RE2 remake, RE3 remake, similar kind of camera style, but it just certain locations inside I was getting caught up of enemies coming at me and not having that field of view I needed. So that's been really great. I've also been running a texture mod on that. So the game looks super sharp, super good. And it's just making me want that. I'm crossing my fingers. Capcom is supposed to have some sort of Resident Evil event this month, I think. And I'm really hoping that they can surprise me with a Resident Evil 4 remake announcement. That would be awesome. So, yeah, that's what we've been playing. We'll wrap up the Games Are Fun podcast portion of this stream with question of the week. So, well, let me see here. Pull it up. Huge shout out to Nishan, who is posting the question of the week every single week over on our Discord. So, for those of you who don't know, question of the week basically is every week we ask you guys a question, you answer it, and then we read your responses on the next week's episode. So there's been a bit of a delay because we skipped last week, but so a couple weeks ago we asked, what game do you want to see make its way to Game Pass and other similar free game subscription services? Is it because you want to try the game or because you love it so much and you want to share it with the world? So James Halliday, aka Butlord Primus, says, it's a weird one, but I would like to see Carto on PS Now or PS Plus. It's a game that I'm really interested in, but I'm not sure if I will actually like it. So to be able to give it a shot without having to drop the money would be awesome. And then Nishan says, I don't pay much attention to PS Now or Game Pass, so this may have been on there already, but I want everyone to be able to play Celeste. Such a perfect platformer, easy to learn, difficult to master, lots of secrets to explore, and a touching story. The only other thing I would want, and being much more in line with my love affair with Nintendo, would be a Nintendo 64 online service a la NES, SNES, so many classics to be able to go back to. And then James Holiday also adds that he would like that too, or GameCube, but that he has a suspicion that they have no intentions on doing that. So, yeah, great answers, Nishan, James, Butler. There, really appreciate you guys contributing to the question of the week. So, and we new question. Well, before we issue the new question, I guess I'll turn it over to you guys. Is there any games that you want to see come to Game Pass?
I mean, I mentioned, I think on the last show when we issued the question, I had said Loop Hero, because I was really, really in love with Loop Hero at the time. I still really enjoyed it. I actually haven't played it in a little bit, but I think it would still be a great addition to the Game Pass lineup. I think a lot of people would really like that game, especially, those that are into, roguelikes or, deck building type games, like Slay the Spire or something like that. There, it's a mix of a lot of different genres that I think a lot of people would like. But yeah, I mean, outside of Game Pass, like just to kind of echo, the Nintendo stuff, is just give us more Nintendo games. Nintendo, put some more stuff on your online services. Whether it's Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger on your Super Nintendo stuff, or giving us Nintendo 64 or GameCube type addition to that service. Like there just needs to be more there. I want to see that.
Awesome. How about you, Steven?
Yeah, I mean, looking at going through what Game Pass has, I have no idea what I would even ask for anymore. Like I have no idea what I even ask for. There's so much there. So I'm also I'm gonna lean on that Nintendo boat a little bit, is through their online service. Give us those titles that we're all looking for. Like not, you know, what like these no name games that nobody ever really played. Like don't give us those. Like I know it's
Yeah.
probably really easy to get the rights and stuff, but like that's not what we're looking for. We got these services for things like Final Fantasy. We got these services for those AAA titles that you had for the Nintendo and for the Super Nintendo during those times. That's what we got it for. Batman and just all the stuff. That's what we're here for. That would be my hope, is just an extended library for Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
I will say, for those that do have the service, don't sleep on Mario Picross. That game's actually pretty cool. It doesn't, like, the pictures that you uncover aren't Mario based at all, which is kind of dumb, but it's just a really chill, relaxing game. I think is a really good time. So don't sleep on that. Give it a try. If you like games sort of like it's kind of like a Sudoku or like a reverse Sudoku. Yeah, that's maybe one of the best ways I can describe it. But yeah, it's a nice, relaxing, chill game. I'm pretty sure it was Super Nintendo, that it's on the Super Nintendo service. But yeah, don't sleep on that.
For myself, I'm kind of the same way, Steven. It's like Game Pass has so much. It's like what can you really add at this point? So I would just echo the same things you guys are saying about Nintendo service. I really want to play Chrono Trigger. That's a game that I feel like should be on there, right? Like it needs to be on there. It makes sense. So put it on there, Nintendo. Like that's the one NES or SNES game that like I'm waiting for it to pop on there. But
So here's the thing with Chrono Trigger. So there is a Steam version. It's not a lot. It frequently goes on sale too. Um, it is different. The translations are different. I think they added sort of like a smoothness to like the sprites and stuff that just kind of doesn't look as good as the classic pixel art. But I know there were a lot of issues with like menuing and stuff early on, but it sounds like they made some patches to it to make it a really actually solid port of the game. So, I mean, if you don't mind not playing the absolute original version,
Hmm.
I'd say try out the Steam version.
Yeah, no, it's a good call. I never even like I knew it was on Steam, but I never even thought of that. I just yeah, that would be possibly worth it then. Maybe I'll have to take that up. Um, yeah. Other than that, I just like Outriders. Bring Outriders like to PC or Game
Put it
Pass.
on
Like
PC.
that's what I want right now in this moment.
Yep.
But yeah. All right. New question of the week. I don't know if I think we might have asked this before. At this point, like we've been running games are fun for like this May will be 3 years. So I don't know. There's gonna be questions that are gonna repeat. We forget these things. I mean, we're
So we could ask,
what do you have one?
would you pay for E3 access?
We could ask that. Yeah, my mine that I was gonna suggest is I was kind of thinking about us playing Sea of Thieves here and how much fun I'm having with it, and thinking about how I was on board with that game and then I kind of just like fell off from it. And after a huge amount of time, I've come back and I'm really enjoying it. So I was gonna maybe ask a question that's like, is there a game that you fell off from, and have been like itching to go back to? Um, Maybe you have gone back since, so maybe you can tell us a little bit of did it meet your expectations. But if there is a game that you've been is on your list, like a game that is maybe in the backlog, or it's a game you know you want to play, why is it that you haven't gone back to it? I don't know. We could ask maybe something like that.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that.
All right, cool.
Yep.
So yeah, what's that game in your backlog or a game that you are wanting to check out? Nishan, I'm leaving it up to you, man, to word that in a better way than I have. It's more precise. And yeah, to answer that question, join our Discord server, invite.gg/games are fun. Nishan posts it up there and we'll read it next week. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it for Games Are Fun podcast. To our audio listeners, thank you so much for listening. If you made it through the whole episode, we really appreciate it. I know there were some moments there that probably get bogged down for you guys, but I feel like we still had some good discussions today. And I think we're going to probably do this again in the future. So, yeah. Steven, where can people keep up with you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at LordlyKingS. I stream Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time until 12:31ish p.m. I'm off tomorrow at the time of this recording, so you won't see me tomorrow morning. But just to kind of give you a heads up what we got coming up content-wise is we have the final fight in the previous tier, Eden Savage Raid. So if you're part of Final Fantasy community, you know what I'm talking about. You want to come and check it out because it's going to be full of a bunch of memes and laughs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's still going to be full of memes and laughs. It's going to be a good time. But that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Adam?
Yeah, I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at AdamPalooza85. I typically stream Tuesday and Wednesday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then typically on Sundays I stream at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and typically go for about 2.5, 3 hours on each of those days. I think Sundays are usually a little bit longer. I might go maybe closer to like 3.5, 4 hours those days. But yeah, I play, a mix of things. No Man's Sky I've been playing. Uh, Sundays tend to be my retro days where I'll do like randomizers, Super Metroid or Link to the Past, or sometimes a combination of the two games, which was a lot of fun when I did that. I might also stream if I decide to make attempts at a speed run for a game that that I can eventually submit for GDQ. I will probably stream that as well. So I guess keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Luke Allen Arm. I stream on twitch.tv/Luke the Llama, like I mentioned earlier, continuing on with Resident Evil 4 at some point. I was going to stream last night, but then I passed because I wasn't in the right mental space for it, but I'm going to hopefully be back Sunday night, Monday. Probably a lot. Looking at next week, we're going to continue on with that, and then moving on to I think I want to finish Everhood up on stream, so we might break for a couple streams of that. And yeah, we have some more Resident Evil hype at some point. Time is ticking though. I was hoping to get through RE5 and RE6. I actually convinced Pixie to do a co-op play with me through RE6, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Um, so I'm hoping I can get those before RE8 comes out at the end of May. But yeah, and then of course follow the show on Twitter at Games Are Fun Pod, also on Instagram at Games Are Fun Pod, and then one more time I'll mention that Discord, invite.gg/games are fun. We're having discussions over there every single day, so make sure you're catching up with us over on Discord. And yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Games Are Fun Podcast. Please come over to twitch.tv/Games Are Fun Podcast for the next one if you can make it, because these live shows are a lot of fun, and we'd like you to be over here so you can drop in chat and we can hang out with you and have a good time. So that's it. We will talk to you all next week.